Yo, come on, come all, nothing but love, nothing but respect. You know what we do, what we don't, what we is, what we isn't, and what we is here today. It's Friday, which means One Piece, which means I'm freaking excited. All right, nothing, nothing puts the cherry on top for my week or starts my weekend off more than a good One Piece chapter. And we're here today with chapter 1039. Last chapter was titled Kid and Law vs. Big Mom. And going through the trend of other chapters recently, I got not high hopes and high expectations, but it's like there's potential setup for Big Mom to go down this chapter. So yo, this is going to be a potentially divisive chapter. But yeah, before we get into it, I know this week that some people have been struggling to get a hold of the chapter. A bit of stuff's happening on Discord. If you haven't read the chapter already and you want to read the chapter, the link to the chapter is in the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description down below. Go join my Discord. Go over to chapter links. The chapter's there. All right, and then read it along with me. And while you're doing that sort of stuff, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. I know it says 96 there. We've actually got 97 subscribers at the moment. I'm having an issue with my mini feed today, but it is what it is. But yeah, we are this close to 100 subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for more notifications for content like this, give the video a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And let's just get into the greatness that is One Piece. We have the cover for Shonen Jump this week. The War That Tears Down an Era, Wano Arc Climax. Color spread. I mean, if we're talking about the climax, is Big Mom going down this arc or this chapter, and then this chapter or next chapter? Are we getting like Act 3 end? Act 4 start, and Act 4 is just going to be Luffy versus Kaido one-on-one, like the drawn-out fight aspect? Maybe? Am I still hoping for too much? You like the new chapter? I haven't read the new chapter yet, Raj, so read it along with me, my guy. I love this cover, color page sort of magazine cover. Kaido's looking kind of beastly and kind of scaly in it, and I love how Luffy's just coming in with the mad kung fu sort of vibes. I'm loving his determination here. It's really reminding me of like old school Monkey. If any of you guys have ever seen that show, Monkey, you know, Monkey Magic, Monkey Magic, giving me those sort of good vibes. But yeah, let's get into. Oh, we've got another color spread here. Juicy. These are some nice sort of pastel-y colors with some bright orangey yellows. Doesn't look like there's anything super special here. Robin's sort of looking at some ruins and that. We got a monkey decked out like a king though, pointing Luffy like, Pirate King's this way, boy. If you want to be the Pirate King, go that way. Yo, Zeke Zeke. Oh, get Xwell. Good to see you, my guy. Only just starting the chapter now. All right, only going through the color pages now, so you're just in time. All right. Yo, I can already see the title. Chapter 1039, the main act. Ooh, you know, with a chapter title like that, you are causing all types of shittery. The skies above Wano. Back, keep going back. If I can just get a little further away. Using all his might. Yo, so Momo successfully stopped us getting to the flower capital. That is interesting. But, if you look here, right at the top of Onigashima, there's a hell of a lot of, like cloud dust storm going, whizzing all around the place. Almost like Zoro's, dragon rope twister. It kind of looks to me... It kind of looks to me like Kaido's doing some wind fuckery here. I'm just saying. It's, definitely looks good. Letting it fall on the capital is unthinkable. Is someone calling for me? You know what that means. Zunisha, is someone calling for you? Surely that is Zunisha. Ooh, oh, yo. When we say Wano is reaching its climax, yo, we are in such a ridiculous state of being right now. I ain't gonna lie. There is so much that could still happen. Yo, dome interior live floor. Whoa! Big Mum's been blown away. Yo, so we're picking up from Kid's attack at the end of last chapter. Coming in, doing his bullhorn attack. This thing's pretty huge though. Like, this is like an 8-meter tall giant mechanical bull that's just charged with its sharp ass horns at Big Mum. I love this thing that's on like the shoulder blade of the bull as well, because Kid's used this same thing for all of his giant mech forms so far. So I don't know if he just remakes that same thing, or if he just like low key has been dragging around like 30 minutes of delay behind, just dragging around this one giant metal plate. Just like, I really like the design of this. I'm gonna take it with me. They couldn't have beaten her. Please, we're counting on you to deal with them. Oh, yo. Boss, Captain. Oh, okay. Yo, please, we're counting on you to deal with them. Right, I thought that was Kid's crew then, before I realized that was the Beast Pirates. I was like, what kind of shitty ass crew is just like, you need to deal with them, we can't do it. Is that Panda Man on one of the Kid Pirates tops there? Bottom right panel there, on that boss section? Is that a little Panda Man, or am I misreading or misunderstanding that design? It could be the Tomoe's, for like a Sharingan. It's that sort of look. But I reckon that's a little Panda Man hidden in there. Chat, is that a little Panda Man? Yo, look at Kid's crew. I wish we got more to do with Law and Kid's crew this arc. Who the hell is the chick with the crown on Kid's crew? Is Kid rocking around with some royals? Yo, and Big Mom spits up some blood. The bull winded the old bag. Haha, bet you felt that one, hag. Hey, Eustace, ya. That's twice now. You wait for me to use my Ooh! You wait for me to use my finisher. Then you swoop in with a flashy move to take the credit for yourself. Law's spitting? Law is spitting facts, man. No cap. No cap. My dude Law out here, right? Just like, Eustace. I come in. I do all the work, right? I understood the assignment. And then your bitch ass comes in doing just like a little metal punch or whatever, and she's like, haha, look how much I hurt Big Mum. I mean, like, I know Kids doing stuff to Big Mum, but it's like, Law, my dude, he's been doing some ridiculous internal organ shit. I mean, at this point in time, Big Mum's organs have got to be popped to shit. I'm not your opening act. Who cares? Let it go. In that case, you go first next time. And leave the final blow to me. Quit giving me orders. There won't be anything left of that old bag once I hit her with my trump card. Oh? What comes after the bull attack? A hippo? Maybe an elephant? You know my dude Law is out here talking all sorts of shit, and I'm a fucking fan of it. I'm over here in Team Law's camp just like, yeah, you talk all the shit you want, man. You keep looking good. You keep looking good. You keep flexing. Oh. In that case, you go first next time and leave the final blow to me. Quit giving me orders. There won't be anything left of that old bag once I hit her with my trump card. Oh? What comes after the bull attack? A hippo? Maybe an elephant? Shut up. Like I'm gonna tell you what I'm packing. Oh! Oh! They fucked her. Oh, yo, I just blurred my camera out bad then. They broke her fucking arm. Look at that. She's got the Harry Potter floppy arm. Look at her bones. Those shockwaves hit me from inside out. Even my ribs are broken. Trafalgar's technique is dangerous. Yo, so I'll have to exchange some life to bring you back, Bones. She can heal! Fuck! Every time I think Big Mum is at her peak, and we've seen all we can see from her, she just gets more bullshit thrown her way, and I love it. I'm red hot take. I love Big Mum as a character. I used to be like, ugh, she's been goofed on, ugh. Now I'm just like, yo, Oda's just given her so much shit. Yo, she rejuvenates her broken bones. So, Law has broken her rib cage. Kid hitting her with the bull. She's like landed on her arm, snapped her fucking arm, and the big bitty just grows it back. And what are these lightning lines coming out of her? Is that Konkurasaki? Is she unleashing Konkurasaki? Yo, it's really OP. What more if he has Conquerors? Yo, if he gets Conquerors, it's over for the verse. True. Yo, dude. Okay. If Law in 20 years' time has the durability of a Yonko, like say this generation grows up and gets stronger. If Law in 20 years' time has the durability of a Yonko, I'm honestly sitting there, I'm just like, yo, I love everyone, but it's like, unless you have some specific countered hacks, he's dropping every fucking fool in the series. Like, I love Oda, but he just gives Law so much shit, and I love it. I absolutely love it. In all seriousness, I need to tell you something. I'll be out of strength after this round. My next attack will be my last. Oh, he's coming in with a finisher. Yo. My next attack will be my last. I can't afford to let it miss. You'll have to. I just told you to quit giving me orders. Prometheus, Napoleon, Hera, ready. Yes, mama. Master set. Oh, she makes a goddamn lightsaber. Oh. Oh, yes. Big Mom is also doing a lot with her devil fruit. Yo, Big Mom. I love this big bitch. She's just out here having the, like, even though she's getting a shit rock, she's just like, fuck that, fuck me, fuck you. I will beat your ass down. Alright? She's a natural disaster. She's an iron balloon. She can make a damn lightsaber. You do damage to her, and she's just like, I guess I'll heal it. Sacrifices some life to auto heal. She's on some BS, and I love it. Nothing but useless scrap. Mama, it's futile. You brats need to stop dreaming. I've sent hundreds like you to a watery grave. Yo, look at the fire in her eyes, though. Big Mom's ready to take action. We've ruled for decades now. Since the time you two were still drinking your mother's milk. Oh! A sign. SN. Yo, those are poles of a magnet. It's not as good. It's not as good as Kroom or K-Room. But yo, the fact that he can just go a sign and set you in a different object, like he can set two non-magnetic things, give them magnetic properties. The fact that he can do it to more than one thing, right? Imagine if he just did, like, he wouldn't. Otherwise, he probably would have done it then, right? Imagine if he just, like, made the moon the other pole, and Big Mom just got sucked up to the moon or some bullshit. Yo, Big Mom gets yanked back into the wall, hits the back of her head, eyes starting to white out a bit. Kids coming in with the bull. Big Mom's just like, aye. Mama, dodge. I can't get loose. Yo, the bull is charging in, going for more broken bones. Yo, Big Mom's out here training with the likes of Krillin and Goku, doing the turtle shell training. She's just like, nah, man, I'm gonna block this shit. Yo, I absolutely fucking love this. Kid assigns a building to her. She connects with the building. Kid's coming in to hit her with another bull attack. And Big Mom's just like, out of my way. Does a quick Yui. Smacks the building into the attack instead. And she's just there flexing. She's flexing like a tank. Just like, she's psyching herself up. Yeah, I used to hate not hate Big Mom, but I used to not give too much of a shit about Big Mom. But yo, time and time again, she is just like, every time I think she's shit, or she's useless, or she's on the ropes, or every time I'm just like, yeah, we've seen what we get. She just keeps going like, nah, don't underestimate me. Don't you do it. I love how quickly she turns and look at the speed lines. She doesn't, no, look at the speed lines. She turns and then jumps back into the attack. She's just like, nah, if you're gonna come at me at that speed, I'm gonna get a free attack using your ability. What? She moved the whole tower to block? Kids even like, no way. She's just like, listen, yo, you've really weighed me down with this. Yo, I love, let's go! I love this. She's out here doing the finger point, just like, you've really weighed me down with this. Yo, she's coming in, I love the finger point. She's just like, you little piece of shit. I'ma take you out here. I'ma be wearing a kid coat at the end of this arc. Mother's homing cannon. So Big Mom does like an Elbaf spear setup, but she's using her homies here. Comes in, and it's like the Mesa cannon, but it gives Hera a full form body. Coming in like a witch. Yo, she... Reference to a 1976 anime called 3000 Leagues in Search of Mother. Misery is read as 3000 Leagues. Holy shit! Yo, if she can give... Is this like Big Mom in her youth? Is that what Hera sort of looks like here? Am I reading into that too much? Because it is a part of Big Mom's soul. Is that kind of a little bit of a look of prime Big Mom there? Am I overcomplicating that, guys? What? It's moving. Her attack. It's alive. Yo, that is ridiculous. She does a sword slash, and like after that, Hera's out, just going like full form, just like, nah, I'm coming here. She's coming out like a monster, and it looks like she's fire and lightning here. So she's both like Hera and Prometheus. Kid's jumping his ass out the way. Haha, go get him, Misery. Show them their place. My boy Law's out here just like, if at first you don't succeed, drop a building on him. Comes in with the tack. Like, you point your finger at Kid, I point my finger at you. Tack. Building comes crashing down over Big Mom's head. Yeah, I love how she's getting goofed over. Everyone's running in the field. Yo, Big Mom has just gone full Godzilla and King Kong and just eaten so many buildings this arc. Like, I swear half the damage has just been throwing a city on her. Look at her little legs sticking out there on the side. Like, you know, just like little legs just sitting out. Oh, here we go. Yes. Pant. So Law's coming in with his attack and Kid's looking on like, what the shit? Not this again, Trafalgar. Basement Armory. What in the world? We've got Yamato. Law stabs her through the heart with his awakening. It goes through Onigashima down into Wano. You've got guts, I'll give you that. Now get off me, Trafalgar. Yo, and she's harkied up. King Kong bashing on her titties, crushing my guy Law. And he's just getting hit and spewing blood. Not yet. It's got to be deeper. Did you croak? Listen to me, yo. And she's just beating his ass. What are you doing, Captain? Let go or you'll die. Puncture, what? Puncture Willie. What the fuck? The range! Yo, look at... You can't even see the bottom of the hole. The Law just keeps going down with the awakening. Makes a goddamn Fujitora style hole in Wano. Like the same sort of size hole that Fuji did when he dropped the meteor. Yo, and that's with his awakening. That bypasses Big Mom's defense. He just didn't attack the deletes. Like 100 meter radius. Right? God knows how deep. That should delete Big Mom's fucking heart. And it's bypassed the skin, so it's just doing direct organ damage on her here. She's spewing up blood and coughing. Literally the back smoking. What? How did that big crater get there? Yo, and it just gets bigger the further down it went. By the looks of it. It just put a huge hole in the bloody... Yo, what's this massive hole? Burn him to ash misery. Yes, mama. Now Eustace, yeah. What? What the hell is that? Yo, is that a gun? That looks like a fucking gun to me. How many times do I have to say it, Trafalgar? Don't tell me what to do. You brats. You think you can take me down? Give it your best shot. I am Big Mum. That's how I'm gonna finish you off. Damned punk. Your era is over. Dragging the emperors off their thrones. No break next week. Yo. Damned punk. Kanji means electromagnetic cannon. So is that a railgun? Like, is he using... did he shoot something out? Is it like... Has he made a railgun and he shot a piece of metal out at that speed? Or is that like he's shooting a beam of electricity out because he's using electromagnetism to, like, you know, make a generator essentially and just like spewing it out a hole? Yo, is Big Mom done? No, surely we got one more chapter of this. Kaido and Big Mom are natural disasters incarnate. Whole fucking death. Yeah, they are. A little bit of a stretch here, Glee. Lure over top badass 100%. That attack was absolutely insane. Yo, I still believe Big Mom is not done since Raizo vs Fukurojugo is still going. The end of the Yonko era and the beginning of the Joy Boy era. Yo. We don't have a break next week, so I think Big Mum has maybe a little bit more in her, because Kid says that's why I'm going to finish you off. Like, Law... I mean... What, Laws hit her with two or three awakening attacks. I think it's three now. This makes three. Plus counter-shocking her and stuff like that. Like, all her internal organs should be done. Kid comes in, breaks her fucking arm. And, like, she even mentions, like, all her ribs are broken. She just spawns us back. I don't think Big Mom is done. I think she's done, bro. Yeah, okay. Chat seems a bit split on whether or not Big Mom's out or not. Hear me out here, right? If Big Mom is done here, it makes sense. Like, it's hard to scale Kid, but we know, like, Law's... I mean, Law's ability should have, like, been just as effective on Big Mom, regardless of her strength, right? So anytime Law's done internal organ damage, Big Mom's probably had those organs, like, destroyed. To the point where, like, she can still fight. No different to, like, when Whitebeard had his organs liquefied by Akainu, right? The difference being she could heal back up after the fight using her soul ability that we see to fix her arm. So it's like, she can keep fighting without the need of this shit temporarily. But, like her heart should be gone after that attack from Law. Like, look at that shit. Yo, and Law has fucking so much range right now. Because that was spot on her heart. Law's attack reached 1-0. Do you know how strong an electromagnetic cannon is plus Law's attack on top? I think next chapter she's going down, but I don't think she'll die. It would have to be Big Mom versus Kid 1v1 because the Law is out of energy. Yeah, no. I, like, the way the chapter ends, Kid says, you think you can take me down, give it your best shot. I am Big Mom. That's why I'm going to finish you off, right? Kid saying he's going to finish her off. Kid might be able to get a few of these off. Like, the point might have been to show off Law earlier on in this fight, to then show off Kid for the second half of this fight, after she's been severely nerfed by Law. So she could still be up for a few like, at least one more chapter, probably, to fight against Kid a bit more. But she's just so much weaker that it is closer to a one-on-one at this point. I think next chapter she's going down, but I don't think she'll die. It would have to be Big Mom vs. Kid because Law is out of energy. Yep. Kid's still the spotlight after Law's awesome attack. LMA. Yo, I didn't even realize. Yo, he did, eh? Law comes in, does probably the most damaging attack we've seen against a Yonko yet. Like, as an individual attack, this is probably the most powerful thing we've seen someone that's not a Yonko or an Admiral do to another Yonko or Admiral level person. Like, I know Luffy's out there with the Advanced Conquerors and Rio and shit, but it's like, Law bypasses your defense. He literally deleted a hole in an island here. Did that internally in all her organs. We don't know what kind of hole she has inside her right now that she needs to fucking heal back from. Yo. Her backstory will come back around at some point, but I think she will go down in the sense that she will be a useless ally. Like KO, but I don't think she's done for. Ref, stop the fight. Yo, ref! Ref, it's 2v1! Give us someone to tag in for a second. Yo, I didn't even think of this for a second. Yo, Law's taken, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see 8 impacts of Big Mom punching Law in the fucking face, point blank. The same thing that Big Mom... That same thing, right? Big Mom with just Haki is equal to Gear 4. Think of that. Luffy comes out with a Gear 4 fucking Kong gun, and Big Mom just goes, bleh. Like it's nothing. Here she is. Law's just there, eating the attacks. Far out. Fuck. Yo, and Kid... I can't even believe... Oh. Ooh. I spooked myself for a second then. Before I scrolled down, I saw the black lines for the top left panel of the last page. Or second last page. And I was like, wait, Black Lightning? No. I was like, is Kid putting Conqueror's Haki in this shot? No. It's just, when you see it later on, it's just like the electricity. Yo, Big Mom looks dusty as shit. The sword attack was dramatic. Law do be a bit of a queen about that dramatic entrances. Law's durability. We need to read it. Law got his shit rocked by Fujitora and Doflamingo, right? And then by Doflamingo a second time with the help of Trouble and that. We need to reassess Law's durability because he out here eating attacks that we saw on screen equal Gear 4 Luffy. It's over, G. We were all having the same conversation when King and Queen were finished. There was like maybe a little more, but now they're done. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Anime All Day TV. The question here though is, because it is Big Mom and because it is a Yonko, she does deserve a touch more than a commander, right? And I know, I mean, like, look, they've been hitting her with the Awakening like crazy. That automatically bypassed her defense. Like, Kaido was saying, like, yo, Kaido was like, dude, I'm not messing with, Kaido was like, I'm not messing with Law like that, because Law's abilities were just so annoying and so hard to get around, right? Big Mom's out here on a 2v1 with Law against her, bypassing one of the biggest things that makes her so ridiculous. So it's like, if she is out here, it's like, yo, fair game, but it's like, I feel like, yo, this is about to put me in some hot water here. I feel like Whitebeard probably could have taken the attacks we've seen Big Mom take so far and still be up for a little bit. I mean, he had from the center of his chest down, liquefied by Akainu. Then half of his face blipped and was still throwing hands for a few minutes before he, stopped. I reckon maybe Oda gives Big Mom one more chapter against Kid, just to show the effects of what Law did and show off Kid a little bit more than just shooting a laser cannon, you know? True, but that's King and Queen, and their showing has been pretty average for a Yonko crew. People expected more of them. That's completely fair for people to expect more of them, but with Big Mom's relevance, it was normal to assume she might have a bit more. What if Law modified himself with his fruit, thus the increased... I mean, technically we saw Law do the antibacterial curtain. We don't know if that was a one-time block, or if that's like a status effect he can put on himself to keep his durability and defense up for a prolonged period of time. Big Mom has the ability to kill Kaido. Hard to believe she's done. I mean, yeah, like... The way this ends, it reminds me of Whitebeard in Marineford after he got stabbed by Squad, and he's like, I am Whitebeard, and then goes out and wrecks people's shit. Big Mom being here is like, I am Big Mom. It's a bit different, but it's like, it gives off that same sort of vibe to me. And then Kid goes, that's why I'm going to finish you off, right? To me, it's like, Kid, I think there's at least one more chapter. Because I think 1040 may end if Act 3, if there's going to ever be an Act 4, Act 3 is going to end next chapter with Kid taking out Big Mom. And then it'll be everyone left watching Luffy 1v1 Kaido. That is if that's going to happen. I mean, the setup for next chapter is dragging the emperors off their thrones. Your era is over. You fuck me dead. I need to go back up. Show me some of this shit again. Big Mom. Holy hell. I can't believe Kid broke her arm. And I can't believe she just heals from it. She's just like, she's powered up from it. She's just like, yo, I'm gonna fuck you up, you little shit. Yo. And I know she says she'll have to exchange life to bring Bones back. But it's like, if she's in a situation where she has excessive souls that aren't hers, can she use those souls to heal her, or can she only use her own soulscape to heal herself like that? Yo, we've got a fair few people watching right now. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. We're only 3 subscribers off hitting 100 subs. I know it says 96 up there. We're delayed a little bit. Alright, so, yeah, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Ooh, my mouse just died on me then. Subscribe to the channel, alright? Like the stream. Hit the bell icon for more notifications for content like this. You know, all that good stuff. It helps us out, and you know, we're so close to hitting 100 subscribers. Of course, you want to hit 100 subscribers on the chapter where potentially Big Mum went down. You can always go back and be like, hey, that was me. I topped that off there. Yo, I want to see a spin-off of Big Mum versus Kizaru, where they're having a lightsaber duel. Full duel of the fates in the background going on, like... Need to get George Lucas in for the cinematography. Got Big Mum, because we've seen Big Mum. Big Mum's like Maul doing flips and shit. Just like coming in super red hot with her attacks and that. Kizaru's just there just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Doing his shit like Obi-Wan. Your kid... It's weird that Kid's awakening wasn't his big attack at the end of this chapter from what we saw. Because it's weird that Kid has attacks that aren't his awakening, that are stronger seemingly than his awakening. That's part of what leads me to believe we're going to get a bit more next chapter. That said, I could be completely wrong, right? This could be Big Mum being taken out. She's been a freaking monster. But at the same time, like, can you show me like 10% more of you using some armament? Advanced armament, since we know you have it? Rio, anything? Come on. Give us some conquerors. Yo, okay, nah. Big Mum can't be out here. Unless we get a conquerors clash between Big Mum and Kid. I refuse to let Oda. I refuse to let Oda off the hook of not showing that in their conflict in any capacity. Like, that genuinely would be a missed opportunity to me. And it's something that, like, I feel like is set up well here because Law really has been MVP so far in this fight. By far. Like, leagues. Right? And I mean, look at his finisher. Law says this is his finisher. His finisher deletes a hole essentially in her heart and deletes a hole like 100 meters, 200 meters across in an island. Like, the shockwave there is almost the same width of Onigashima. You can see that there. And like Big Mum's spewing blood and smoking out her rear end. Yo, and she's still got Misery out. Ooh, Misery was coming after Law then. Yo, sorry for being late. What's up, guys? Yo, good to see you, Kuma. Yo, Okay, burn him to ash Misery. Misery's going after Law. Kid hits Big Mum with his final attack, and it's off-screened, right? Like, Big Mum gets sent flying. But Misery is its own entity separate to Big Mum now. It's moving autonomously, right? Is Misery going to get to Law or get right in front of Law next chapter and he's going to have to dip out the way? And then we're going to have Law leave Kid to fight Big Mum on his own. Because look at that smile. That's how you know Law's a D. I didn't even pick up on that before. Look at that smile at the bottom of the second last page. That genuinely might be the most evil I've seen this man look. And I fucking love it. You brats. You think you can take me down? Give it your best shot, yo. This laser's doing a lot of damage. I love how Big Mom looks like she's got a fidget spinner in the back of her head. Big Mom is not done since Law and Kid have their panel KO'd. Big Mom is not done since Law and Kid have their panel KO'd. This chapter just proves that Law's Devil Fruit is an easy pass for any durability. Yeah, dude. I was saying before, and actually this doubles back to, and if you haven't done it already, right? Link to my Discord is in the description down below. Go join the Discord. I asked a question earlier this week because I saw someone questioning on Twitter and that about Big Mum versus Kid in Law, and a lot of people said Big Mum will win. It was like 60-40, right? And then it said Kid in Law versus Whitebeard. Or it was Big Mum versus Whitebeard, and it was like a 50-50 split. And it's like, I asked the question of Whitebeard versus Kid in Law, right? So after this chapter, I'm going to have so much more to talk about with that in the Discord. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to get part of that conversation, go join the Discord and be a part of that. It's insane. Probs and S-tier fruit, bro. Dude, Law's Devil Fruit is top 10. Easy. If we're talking... there's some broken fruits. My top 10 picks for a Devil Fruit. Law's Fruit. NL's Fruit. Kizaru's Fruit. I would take any of the Yonko's Fruit. Kaido, Big Mum, Whitebeard. Akiji's is good for versatility, but it doesn't match up too well. And Akaji's Fruit... Marco's Fruit. Oh, fuck, they're so good. Law proved that he alone is enough power for Heart Pirates. Like, he is the 99% of Heart Pirates' power. He is the 100% of Heart Pirates' power. All they're there for is for when he's too jacked up to give him a bit of health, and Beppo to just be a furry, like, you know, like, pat the furry bear while you recover, Law. The fact that we haven't seen Law this murderous before could actually tragically mean his heart wasn't in it about killing Dofi. He wanted him to pay for Corazon, but it might show inner conflict. Yeah, and the 1% is Beppo. Yeah, the 1% is Beppo. I get ya. I mean, Doflamingo countered Law. If you go back to Dressrosa, and you have to assume Law already, like, it's implied that Law already had his awakening against Doflamingo, but he couldn't use it against Doflamingo because realistically, from what we've seen of Law's awakening, is he turns his sword, or he turns a object into a room, which he can freely manipulate that thing. It just happens to be his sword, right? So he coats his sword in the K room. By doing that, the sword itself becomes a room. So where he normally can manipulate the size of his room, he can manipulate the size of his sword. And anything that he can normally do in his room, he can do through his sword there. So it's like the Shock Willy and, what's this one called? The Puncture Shock, right? Oh, the Puncture Willy. These are like, I'm assuming like a mix of like Counter Shock with Gamma Knife and Radio Knife. Like, it's an all-in-one, just like a big bleh, explosion of internal damage. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is only effective, and from what we see, once he like starts to extend it, he can extend it once, so he's got to aim it and he's got to hit, right? Doflamingo was outpacing Law quite significantly, dodging past him, and anytime Law had Doflamingo in sight and Law was going to attack Doflamingo, if you actually look back to it, Doflamingo was redirecting Law's attack with string, right? Like, string outside of his room that he was like moving when he was attacking, and that like it was parrying Law. So it's like, I get what you are saying, that maybe he didn't have this murderous intent against Dofi, but what I think it is Dofi just knew the fruit's abilities, and once Law took down Virgo, Doflamingo wasn't underestimating Law, and he just hard countered him. Law isn't a bad person at his core. You're just put through poor conditions. I know that he's been really overshadowed this arc, but I think Kid so far has been doing pretty good overall. Everyone is saying that he needs to master Haki and all that to get stronger. But Kid's proven that he has a lot more tricks up his sleeve than we give him credit for. Like I was saying before, Kuma, well, you might not have been here for it, actually. It's like we saw that Kid can assign non-metallic things, multiple things, with his awakening. So we can do either end of a pole of a magnet, right? The fact that he can do that means there's nothing to stop him doing it about ridiculous stuff. If that makes sense, right? Like, might not be the best example, but like, for all we know, he can assign Big Mum the North Pole or the South Pole section. And for all we know, he can put the other pole on water, and all of a sudden, water shoots at Big Mum. Or puts it on a meteorite or the moon and sends it flying at Big Mum. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of crazy potentials for how he can use that and work that. And that's just assuming he can only do south and north. For all we know, he can do like north and north or south and south, right? So it's like he could arguably assign himself with one barrier and assign another person with the same barrier, and that person wouldn't be able to get close to him. So it's like Oda's set up Kid to still be ridiculously strong even without the haki in that. And it makes sense because it's like, as much as I want him to have good haki, could you imagine it if like, because we know like snipers and Kuja pirates can put haki in other objects, and like even swordsmen, really, right? Could you imagine if Kid had advanced armament haki? Like, if Kid has armament haki that he can coat onto his metal, that's broken. If he has advanced armament haki, my guy could pick up a giant sword, and as we saw here, do a railgun, shoot the sword with fucking Rio on it, and that's just putting a hole through anyone. You know what I mean? But Kid's proven that he has a lot more tricks up his sleeve than we give him credit. I mean, Zoro hasn't unlocked the full usage of Conqueror's Haki yet, so maybe Kid is a sudden or late bloomer too. Imagine if Kid attached Big Mum to Kaido. Yeah, 100%. Right? I mean, imagine if Kid assigned Big Mum's left leg to her right leg, and all of a sudden her legs just shut together and she can't walk. You know what I mean? Or he does it with her arms. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ridiculous potential here for him to be broken in some really, like, crazy, random, all sorts of weird ways. You know what I mean? And that's not even talking about, like, oh, gosh. Yo, that... I'm gonna be doing so much... I feel toxic saying it. I'm going to be doing so much power scaling based off this chapter this weekend. Holy shit. Oh, that's a big shit-eating grin. Show me some of the color stuff here. Yeah, the colors are good there. Kid really is shooting a massive-ass laser here, though, ain't he? That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. I want a consensus. Chat, sound off. First things first, sound off what countries you use it from. I love hearing where you guys are around the world. 2, let me know... is Big Mum out? Does this take Big Mum out, or do we get another chapter? Because I'm leaning towards another chapter, but I can see the argument that people have that she's out this chapter, especially with the history of Onigashima so far. So sound off. Let me know. Let me know where you guys are feeling like you're just sitting naturally on it. You know what I mean? Absolutely wild. I actually can't, like, it's doing my head in that Big Mom is beating the crap out of Law like this. Also, it's pretty ridiculous as well, because like I've been really putting it off, but I'm rereading Whole Cake Island. The reason I've been putting it off is because I only recently reread it, sort of thing anyway. But like, you look at Big Mom using her armament haki here, and it's regular armament haki. If you go back to that scene that caused a lot of controversy in Whole Cake Island at the wedding, where she has the tribal design, I recently read that. I reanalyzed it. It's pretty evident that she is using her ability there. She may not be using it on Luffy, but there's her children, the fodder. It looks like they're getting blown back from the impact of Luffy and her. But if you actually look at the page before that, all those kids are about 10 meters in front of Big Mom and they have their backs to her. And Luffy blitzes past them. So them getting blown back in that image is actually Big Mom sucking up soul energy from them with her tribal ability. So it's a bit different, but like you can see that Big Mom and that Oda's been consistent with the way that Haki works. He gives that tribal design when you use your Devil Fruit with Haki. But Big Mom right there, just to clarify that it's not just like Oda was just drawing Haki like that. Big Mom is using regular armament Haki here, not just like when she used the Advanced Rio Conqueror's Punch. Canada, City of Vancouver, hey. Australia. Kid is 60% of Kid Pirates and 39% is Killer. 70-30. Kid's still 70%. Like, I like Killer. I love Killer. Kid just broke Big Mom's arm. Like, I ain't gonna gloss past that. Like, that wasn't just a thing this chapter. Like, look at this manky, floppy-wristed big biddy, right? I'm sorry, but, like, there's not many people breaking the bones of a Yonko like that. Repeatedly at that. You know what I mean? With an impact. Like, Law, it's understandable. Law, my guy, making a mess here. My dude, right, is out here doing internal explosion, organ damage, cracking ribs and stuff like that. That's his ability, right? But Kid, I mean, if we swapped Big Mom out with Kaido here, and it was Kid and Law versus Kaido, right? How do you guys feel? Is Kid breaking Kaido's arm? Not to say, like, I know Kaido's got a healing factor and he could probably eventually heal back from it pretty quickly, but, like, is Big Mom the only Yonko that move, if it hit the other Yonko in the exact same way, is she the only Yonko that would have her arm broken? Or is Kid sort of getting a little bit of a buff in terms of his striking power? Because you got to think, Gear 3 is ridiculously powerful, right? Kid's base attacks were compared with Gear 3 throughout the whole story. And these, like, bigger attacks are being implied to be just a lot heavier than even that, right? It may or may not be the same as Gear 4. That's beside the point. But they're still hitting pretty fucking hard. The 1% is Heat. Yeah. Yo, Heat and Wire. Why couldn't I have seen Heat, Wire, Beppo, Sachi, and Penguin take down a number together? 5v1. Like, what? Oh. Why could I have not gotten that? Or even see them fighting some, like, gifters. We haven't even seen them fighting gifters, man. They're out here clashing with pleasurers. Do you know how just disheartening that is as a One Piece fan? That it's like, you don't even give them good off-screen opponents. Or, like, mediocre off-screen opponents. You give them fucking pleasurers. The dudes that infant minks were kicking the asses out of. Yeah, Kid is definitely your second favorite Supernova. I mean, Kid has so much potential. I hope Big Mom's not done here, because I hope we actually get to see Kid highlighted, and I hope we get to see Kid use all three types of Haki at least once in this clash against Big Mom before it's over. Kaido's approach to battle is a tad different though. He's known to fool around and allow his opponents to go all out, while Big Mom straight up goes for the kill. So I think Law and Kid would get a good hit in. I don't disagree, but it's like a good hit's one thing. Breaking your arm is another thing entirely. Like, is Big Mom out here going to be able to break the arm of any other Yonko? Because that's a big feat. I ain't gonna lie. Oh my god. Why did this chapter have to be over so quickly? Yo. Oh. This misery attack of Big Mums. Is it fire and lightning? Because, like, it looks like fire coming off her back and around her hands, but it looks like Hera made out of lightning as well. Because, like, that's going to be pretty broken as well. You know what I mean? Because Big Mom is essentially here. You don't just have to worry about fighting Big Mom and her big-ass abilities. But you've got to fight a full, unkillable elemental that the only way to beat is to completely counteract the element from. Because we know that Prometheus doesn't get hurt by Haki, and the only thing that damages Prometheus is water, but you got Hera there as well. Ooh, it's ridiculous. Kid is not a Conqueror's expert. That's why there's no Haki clash. I mean, I'm talking about, like, the Doflamingo Luffy Haki clash. The Luffy Katakuri Haki clash. Like, a burst... Like, why don't we have a moment where both of them do a burst of Haki and just have that little sizzle? I'm not asking for advanced armament Haki here. Or advanced Conqueror's Haki. I'm just like... You know, we've been told that Kid has Conquerors. Show it. Just once. Even if it's just, like, subconsciously happening while they're fighting. You know, like, they're trying to throw hits at each other and they're just, like, so amped up at trying to take each other out that there's just that clash happening around them as well. It just add a little bit more to the fight, I think. Just how Zoro vs. King has also no Haki clash. Yeah, but, I mean, King has no Conquerors. Just outright. You know? Zoro was the only person in that fight that has Conquerors. So it's like, of course there's not going to be a Conquerors clash against only one Conqueror. If it was going to have something like that happen, the Conqueror would probably just knock the dude out if he was going to use it. You know what I mean? Not saying that Zoro can knock King out, but you get what I mean aesthetically. Right? In terms of base form, I would argue that Kid is on par slightly above Luffy. We can't forget that Kid has been training in Wano Prison for a long time. He even managed to keep up with Luffy. Okay, Kid is physically as strong as Luffy. Luffy's base form is over Kid's because Luffy has advanced all three types of Haki. That is not to say that Kid isn't stronger than Kid is stronger. Kid's base with his metal and that is stronger than Luffy with Gear 2 and Gear 3 without an advanced form of Haki, I would argue. If that makes sense. Like, that's the comparison there. Which I think is evident as well from how they were valued pre-time skip. Like, in part, right? Because Luffy was having, like, drawbacks. Kid doesn't have drawbacks. Post-time skip, Luffy doesn't have drawbacks. Kid still doesn't have drawbacks. And he's also got the Awakening and all that sort of stuff. But it's like now, even though Kid's got the Awakening and all that sort of stuff going for him, Luffy gets 3 forms of advanced Haki and he's probably about to awaken his fruit. It's like, that's the difference between a first commander and a Yonko in a lot of ways. Luffy has now a stronger base, but I think Law can now challenge in terms of durability. I still don't think Law is challenging Luffy in terms of durability, but Law is definitely more durable now than he was in Dressrosa. Yeah, you can agree with that? Yeah. Like, it's hard to say, but it's like, Kid may not be as fast, arguably, as Gear 2, which is fair, but every one of Kid's strikes is Gear 3 level, based on how it was portrayed pre and post-time skip. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if Kid's base form is like a just Gear 3 level all-rounder, and then you have moments where Kid can boost his speed. I mean, maybe Kid can even have a speed form, like his version of like a Gear 4 form, by using his awakening to set magnetic poles around the area and assign himself a pole so he can pull himself to different areas for speed. Who knows? You know what I mean? Like, Oda said that the supernova that was going to be the most impressive, other than Luffy, is Kid. He never expected lore to be that popular. And I understand, like, you adapt on the fly and you go, and lore is just... I love lore so fucking much. But Oda had plans for Kid in some capacity. So it's like, I could still see him hyping up Kid, like, ridiculously at this point in time. To an absolute ridiculous threshold. I really think that Law's ability, like, I need some type of gauge. It's so hard. I need some type of gauge to determine how much damage Law and his awakening actually does to these Yonko. You know what I mean? Because I understand he deleted that hole, and that's powerful. But it's like, I just need some other stats so I can compare it, you know? Yo, speaking of, though, I love the design for this railgun. I didn't really even notice or mention that. I love how Kid's got, like, a little skull on the side, like a punk skull, but it's also got, like, a miner's hat on it. I almost feel like he's gone back on that with leaving Bonnie for last and the sheer circumstances circling her. I mean, yo, I would love if Bonnie is relevant. I mean, I was saying this to you off stream, Glitter, but it's like, if Oda wants Bonnie to be broken, he could very easily make her fruit change the state of anything to any point in its timeline, if that makes sense. So it's not just like she can make people old or make people young. It's like she could get a bullet, break it and turn it to dust, and then she can turn it back into a bullet or back into dust whenever she wants, right? She could turn it into a bullet, shoot the gun, it's about to hit someone, and then she could turn it to dust right before it hits them so they inhale it or something, and then turn it back to a bullet and it does internal organ damage. Like, her ability could be more than just aging. It is, as far as we've seen, just aging. And I'm not trying to over-complicate or over-hype her, but it's like, if Oda is saving her for more badass stuff after this, she could have a lot of room for being a badass. Like, her ability is a lot like Tsuru's in one-shot capabilities. But there's also, like, a lot of really creative ways you could use that. I mean, we saw her in Stampede throw eggs at Bullet and then turn the eggs into chickens to distract him. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, an egg's organic, but it's also, like, it's an egg. Imagine if Shanks' crew have the same power levels, since they are a well-balanced crew. I think 3 of their crew can challenge a Yonko. See, that's really hard, right? Because, I mean, yeah, they can challenge a Yonko, yeah, but it's gonna be no different to how, like, it's going to be no different to how these guys are challenging a Yonko. You know what I mean? Especially back on the rooftop. Like, I love Ben Beckman, Lucky Roo, and Yasop, right? They've got exceptionally high bounties. And it's like, if they are Haki... Like, if they're avid Haki users, right? Armament and observation. That's really impressive. If they have even one form of advanced Haki each, that already makes them more dangerous than most commanders. You know what I mean? Because, like, there is a massive jump from basic techniques to advanced techniques. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they can be special, but they don't need to be super special. And it's also hard because, like, they say over and over that Shanks has the highest average bounty for his crew. But, like, that includes people like Rockstar who had a 94 mil bounty. You know what I mean? Like, we're going, like, with Big Mom's crew, it's like, she's got thousands, like, Kaido had 30,000 people on his crew with the samurai and all that. Right? It's like, the average bounty of 30,000 people, Shanks has a higher average bounty than Kaido's average bounty. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know the context in how it's spread out. All we've been told is it's an average. You know what I'm saying? Is Big Mom defeated? Look, I already mentioned that before. I'll talk about it again. I think there's another chapter in it where it's just Kid versus Big Mom. And there's going to be some more stuff from Kid to finish off Big Mom. At least one more chapter. But if this is it, it does make sense. I'm not going to be calling bullshit. It does, like, it has been set up to potentially be the end of it. I don't feel like it is. I feel like it was set up with Kid saying, that's why I'm going to finish you off. And how there's still room for Kid to get a few different attacks in. And how Kid's been saying, like, I've been holding back my trump cards and that while you're here, Trafalgar. So I feel like we could get a bit more. She's pretty injured though. Sorry, I meant Jason, autocorrectors are rough. Plus, she's lost a decent amount of lifespan after all this. I don't think we get that next week, and this was a knockout blow. I mean, it could be the knockout blow. It really could be. Like I said, like, look, each one of Law's attacks has essentially decimated her internal organs to the point where her insides could essentially be putty. Kid broke her arm, hit her again with the same attack even though she blocked it, and then hits her again with an even stronger attack. There's just a massive laser to the face that burns the shit out of her. If she's down and out, it's like, sweet. It makes sense. But Oda might go, as a Yonko, I'm going to give her a little bit more respect than the commanders and just give her one more chapter. Because they all went out in like a 2-chapter sort of thing. She might just get that 3rd chapter, and then that might round off 1040. And then from there on out, it's Luffy versus Kaido. You know? Do you always do reactions this early? Yeah. I do reactions essentially as soon as the chapter drops, because, like, I'm like you guys, man. I'm sitting here just like, I need my One Piece content, man. I need the chapter, man. Just give me the chapter. I let it go for 15 minutes today, as soon as the chapter dropped, to give some people a bit of a chance to read the chapter before I started. So I did start like 10-15 minutes late today. But normally I'm sitting here as soon as I get home from work. I shower. I'm here. You know, I'm eating dinner while I'm just refreshing, just like, come on, give me that good One Piece content. I like that name, Hamsterdam. Exactly. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, like, look. Okay. You guys can disagree with me here. I'll just go through the line of logic, right? Law's Devil Fruit and abilities bypass your defense. So, durability isn't a big factor in it. Okay? In the way he damages you. Massive misconception. Go check out, like, get a hard copy of Dressrosa. Because it's the digital copies, the scans, go through one process. The digital releases go through another process. The physical copies, they're the most edited down version of this, the most accurate we can get content, right? At least from official sources. In the physical hard copy of the Viz and in the digital copy, but in both, right? Law's Gamma Knife destroys Doflamingo's organs. Doflamingo doesn't perform first aid. Doflamingo says, like, it's not first aid. I'm remaking organs out of string. And it's just so happened that because he can do that, the effects are null and void from Law's attacks, right? We know Big Mom can heal with her soul abilities, right? But she didn't heal her internal organs. She healed a broken arm because she needed that specifically healed to fight. At this point in time, Big Mom could be walking around missing her heart, her lungs, her fucking kidneys, everything. She could be like, and I'm going to draw a really, really easy parallel here. Big Mom Mayonko could be walking around with no organs, still fighting, no different to Whitebeard, who was walking around Marineford, having his bottom half liquefied internally by Akainu, still fighting until he got half of his face ripped off. Like, the Yonko are durable enough that they can be functionally dead and still moving, talking, fighting. And, like, someone like Big Mom might not give a shit about that until after the fight, where she can re-heal her whole body using sacrificing a few years of life, right? So, like, Laws hit her with radio knife, or he might have hit Kaido, but Laws hit her with radio knife or gamma knife. I think it was, yeah, and counter shock. Then 3 attacks of unknown scale with awakening, right? We talk about Big Mom being an iron balloon. Yeah, she kind of is. Like, I could see the argument right now, because we don't know how much damage Law's done here. She could be like an iron balloon where she's got nothing left inside. She's hollow. She's been blitzed out. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's a fucking chance that Big Mom's out here, and that Kid's just finishing off the touches by just, you know, doing a little bit of external damage until all of it just catches back up with her, and she's just like, bleh. You get what I'm saying? But on the flip side, Kid has talked about how he has more stuff up his sleeve, and arguably you could say it's this damned punk. But Kid has talked about how he's got more stuff up his sleeve. There are more interesting and unique ways for him to use his ability. It's interesting that Oda set it up for Law to look really good early on, to the point where a lot of the community was like, Kid's doing nothing, he's done nothing this whole arc. Ooh, it's just started raining. But Law could have been used a lot less sparingly early on, knowing that Kid is going to be used sparingly early on, but not sparingly in the second half of the fight, where it's Kid versus a very weakened Big Mom because of Law. You know what I mean? Sort of like how Luffy beats Doflamingo for Law, even though Law did an insane amount of damage. If you're catching what I'm putting down. You know what I mean? So it's like, based on the history of how Onigashima's gone, this should be the end of Big Mom. Based on how a Yonko stands leagues above a first commander, she should not be done. Based on how the only other Yonko we've seen fight to completion has performed, this shouldn't, these few attacks here shouldn't have, they shouldn't finish her off. There should be a little bit more in the tank. Just a little bit. Yo, I missed a lot of comments there. I gotta say, after this, would you argue that Kid deserves to be above Zoro? I said in my top 50 list that originally I had Kid above Zoro and Law, but I said, look, I haven't seen anything on screen to continue that justification. I have my list right here, actually. I had originally Kid at 19, then Zoro, then Boa, then Law. And then I swapped Kid down to below Law to have Kid at 22. There is a big possibility that Kid gets a massive spike really soon. Even if you go back and look at the top 50 stream, I was just like, I want to say it, but I can't, in good conscience, lie and say that he's shown the feats already. Yep. Can't always trust online scans, as some misinterpretations are bound to happen 100%. Gamma Knife and that Shock Willy. If Big Mom dies, her homies won't. I think that the proof is shown in the manga where a homie, Big Mom pirates through Big Mom's dead, yet a homie is still sound as it. Yeah, okay, I get what you mean. Homie will be Nami's. Law has been going crazy. Yo, Law, show the mum the Trafalgar D, baby. Uh, 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 um. If she ever were to die, Law still carried this fight. I mean, Law carried the first half of the fight by all means. Like, I'm not even denying that. Luffy, Kid, Law, Yonko's after Wano. I could see Luffy being a Yonko after Wano, there being no other Yonko, and then 20 years later, if we get a flash into the future of the series, Law and Kid have settled into Yonko roles later on. Useless Captain Mid, yo. Like I said, I just want my guy to show me a Conqueror's Haki clash, even if it's just a fodder basic level of it. Show me that you can put Armament Haki on your bare hands, or block with Armament Haki, Kid. Like, this is why I can't have Big Mum be out here. It's like, Kid, show me a bit more. Oda, you can't tease Kid and be like, he's got more, and then be like, yeah, I'm taking that shit off the table. Kid ain't worth shit. It hurts. Kid's been fanboying in the rooftop battle while, he literally shocked at how Luffy can deal damage with Yonko. Maybe his electromagnet did something, but I think that's it. That's why I'm 50-50 on whether she's done. Portrayal-wise, yes, Kid over Zoro, but right now, Zoro... yeah, ZKK. Zoro kills Kid. Yeah, I love that. I love that alternation. ZKK works for everything, baby. Well, okay, fuck it. That's worth another question right now then, right? Talking of ZKK, if Big Mum is going down here, is Big Mum dying? Yo, we've just hit 99 subscribers. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Much appreciated, alright? We are one subscriber off 100. I know it's not represented up here. I'm having a problem with the mini feed today. It's just not working. But we're one subscriber off the 100 Berry Man arc. So absolute thank you to all you people that are subscribing right now. It is really appreciated. Much loved. What Oda is doing with Kid is like when you look at a dessert on the picture. When you go to the restaurant, you're just sad. Ooh. Why is that so fucking accurate? Oh. Yo. Kuma. You made it way too real there, actually. Then you take a bite and then the flavor bursts in your mouth. Oh. Kuma, is what you're saying that you'd like to put Kid in your mouth? I mean, fuck it. I'm willing to try any magnet once. That's a joke. Congrats already on 100. Let's go. Are we at 100 already? Last I checked, it was 99. Double check. Ooh. Yeah, still at 99. But still, 99. One off. Absolutely so close to getting there. The next video I do, this will be updated. Hopefully, not hopefully. I know I said we were going to do a discussion last Sunday, but it was Eggs for Brecky's birthday. Definitely getting one in this weekend. I'm going to fight for that so damn much. All right, I will make sure that we get a stream out on this Sunday, or at least over the weekend in some capacity. You know what I'm saying? I think people would be impressed with Kid if he has Rio after that small time skip. Yeah, 100%. If Kid gets any form of advanced Haki, there's a lot more respect to be had on his name. The fact that he's repping just Awakening right now, and we know he has at least... I'm pretty sure it's only confirmed that he's got Armament and Conquerors. I don't think Observation's technically confirmed, but I think that's just assumed. But, you're the kind of dude who licks a battery to see if it's still active. Oh. That's not me, that's Killer. Okay, maybe Kid could subconsciously unlock it and use it with his magnetic waves. I mean, look. Imagine this, right? Just because I love Law and we're just shitting on Law here a little bit in a way. Law went all out against Dofi and then couldn't finish the deal. And then we had that mad scene of the spiderweb and 16 holy bullets versus the King Kong gun, right? What if we get that retouched up, but instead of Luffy, it's Kid. Because sorry, Law, but you're getting left in the dust again by these other rookies. What if we get a moment where Big Mom puts up some type of ridiculous, puts up some type of guard and then uses Conqueror's Haki against Kid, right? And Kid blocks her Conqueror's Haki with his Conqueror's Haki. So there's like a barrier in between that's just like a strong energy. While Kid charges up some supercharged laser. Or just like a supercharged magnet. Makes a super magnet, right? Assigns Big Mom on the forehead or in the chest or something. And then uses like this damned punk to shoot a piece of metal with absolute force. It pierces through their Conqueror's Haki clash, and because it's assigned to a certain spot on Big Mom, it's like it's like a tracking bullet, and it just hits her and takes her out completely. Like a retouch up of like the Luffy vs Doflamingo final fight, right? But with Kid and Big Mom, with Law on the sidelines again, just like, hey. What? Look at my Haki bloom after this shit by not doing anything, sitting on the sidelines. I don't need to finish fights. I went from under Dofi to fighting Yonko. Imagine what I can do after fighting a Yonko and having a fucking good night's sleep. I only look the positive side. Yep. All these battery jokes. I love it. Good thing I have my doctor on speed dial. What if Kid punches through unenraged and overpowered misery and punches Big Mom into the island? Yeah, I could see that happening. I still like the idea that people were throwing out before that they shoot Big Mom off Onigashima and off Wano, and she lands on the cruise, like on the Big Mom Pirates cruise ship down below. That would be interesting. But okay, I didn't even get the freaking chance. I didn't even think about this. It was the most boring part of the chapter. Momo hearing a voice. Are we just gonna assume that that's Zoe? Because Zoe has an island on its back, being the Momoku Kingdom. Momoku Kingdom? You know, the Minx Tribe Kingdom on its back. What if Momo's here trying his whole hardest to keep Onigashima from falling on the Flower Capital? Only for us to see the voice coming, Zunisha comes, scoops up the Flower Capital, and puts the Flower Capital on Zoe's head. Like on the head. Because he's got no room on his back, but just the Flower Capital just sitting on the top of his head. Meaning that they can fight and let Wano just go into ruin here. Like, because Momo's, all he's wanting is for the Flower Capital to be safe. If he's subconsciously communicating that with Zoe, wouldn't Zoe instinctively just go to protect the Flower Capital in some way, shape, and or form? So wouldn't that mean that Zoe's orders right now are to collect the Flower Capital? And if all the citizens in Wano that are left are at the Flower Capital, wouldn't that mean that everyone is safe for the island to be destroyed by Luffy vs Kaido as a new act? Because if Aokiji vs Akainu can result in an island being permanently destroyed, split in half with a massive crater where one half of the island's ice and the other half's fire, do you not kind of want to see that against Luffy versus Kaido in some capacity? Like a fight that destroys an island? Would that not be kind of badass? And the best way to open Wano's borders is to destroy the fact that Wano's raised up out of the ground, so it could turn into Luffy vs Kaido on a giant island, free for all, with no one around, for them to go all out, for that whole thing to go crumbling down to the ground, for Zoe to just put the Flower Capital back on whatever remains after the rest of it's destroyed? Am I crazy? I could be crazy, alright? look, I mean, I'm here on my Friday night hyping up One Piece. I could be crazy right now, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why Killer's hair always looks so shocked. Yo, we had 100 people come watch this. We've got 10 people currently watching. Yo, shout out to all you guys and girls. Much appreciated for you people coming. It is, you know, it is really appreciated. And it's good to share in the One Piece greatness with everyone. I love it. That being said, we have been going for almost an hour and a half now. I might wrap the stream up here because I will get another stream going this weekend to talk about it more and analyze it more and do some other conversations. We all a little crazy. Yo, Kuma, we all a little crazy. Me and Glitter were talking, saying we might have to do an R-rated stream, just talking absolute shit. Might have to swap it over to Twitch so we don't have anything bad happen on YouTube. But have an absolute shit talking fest about One Piece. Take One Piece to a terrible place. I'm talking. How terrible am I talking? I'm talking Big Mum and her tontada husband. I'm talking Whitebeard and Miss Buchan kind of levels of disgusting. You know what I mean? We anime kiddos. All anime kiddos are disgusting. Wait, Kuma, final stream question. Yo, come on, Kuma. I can't end a stream without you asking a question at this point in time. It's tradition. Alright? It's tradition. Feel the love. Feel the love, Kuma. Well, it's a big question. I can feel the anticipation coming here. We're thinking the same thing. 100%. Yeah, I still can't believe Law just got, like, King Kong beaten by Big Mom. Like, he's snuggling up to her bosom, and Law's just getting the shit ragdolled out of him. I love it. What are your 3 biggest criticisms of the One Piece story? Okay, my 3 biggest criticisms are setups that don't get paid off. I know there's a lot of mystery in the One Piece world, and it's one of the things I love a lot, but there are some things that I think get set up that we don't get enough payoff for. And I know, like, we can't... It's a good thing and a bad thing, because it's like we don't need every little thing, but there's things that are set up that it's like we just want a bit more. We want context. We want to know what's going on. It's why One Piece would work so well if it did a lot more spin-offs that didn't involve Straw Hats. So, number 1 is setup that isn't paid off. Nami's panel time, Carrot's panel time, and Bella's panel time. That's it. Yeah, I love that. I love that get XL. And what do I mean by that? It's like the setup of Zoro and Sanji didn't see each other for hundreds of chapters. Zoro's mindset of don't waste your time on Sanji, and if someone leaves the crew, they're out. Never accumulated for anything. And it would be alright if that was like the only instance of it, but there's a few little instances where it's like stuff gets set up and doesn't get paid off. Or it doesn't get paid off as effectively as it could, and it sort of like leaves us there just like, it's One Piece, you gotta have, there's a level of campiness or silliness to it, so it's like, I understand not trying to take stuff super dark at times, even though Oda can, but it's like sometimes it's like, that's a big detriment to the story. So that's 1. Number 2 is sometimes for power scaling, because like a lot of people say that One Piece doesn't have good power scaling. Rereading all of One Piece, I think it has tremendous power scaling. It's just not how it people's arbitrary power scaling isn't what you think it is. When you power scale in One Piece, you can look at specific examples for who gets an edge over an individual. But realistically, you got to look at the broad picture for proper power scaling at One Piece. It's really different. So when I'm saying power scaling here, What I'm meaning by that is, like, I just want things more fleshed out. I want some better explanations on how things work or what things' effects are. Like, Advanced Conqueror's Haki. What effect does it actually have on a person? Explain that. Advanced Rio doing internal organ damage. How effective is it? Does it get stronger the more Rio you put into it? Or is it sort of a stock standard thing? And again, something like that with Rio, again, with the power scaling here, it's like, Rio works as a perfect barrier. I had this conversation with Eggs for Reki, and it was a bit of a back and forth. But, like, if you go back and look at Boa Marigold or Sandersonia, I can't remember. I think it's Marigold. When she uses Advanced Rio to block Luffy, right? She only used it on a section of her body. Luffy punched the barrier. Luffy didn't go through the barrier. He didn't hurt the barrier. The barrier was perfect, right? So seemingly Advanced Rio is a perfect shield. But because she only used it on her hand, she didn't do full body. She got her ass sent flying. She almost got ringed out, you know what I mean? So it's like, just to make it easier for us to talk between each other in the community, explain that a little bit. Give that a little bit more of a flesh out. The next one, I think, is One Piece is a comedy at its core, at its heart. It's a series to make you laugh and have fun. Everyone should be able to be made fun of equally. There should be jokes for everyone, right? But sometimes people's characters shouldn't suffer for jokes. Like, I love Big Mom, and like I was saying before, like, I'm really impressed with how well they showed her off this arc, this fight. But Big Mom could do with just, like, being treated a touch more serious. Whereas someone like Kaido, it'd be interesting if they treated him a little bit, or Kaido and Shanks, right? Treat them a little bit more like a joke from time to time, so it doesn't feel like it's only Big Mom. So it doesn't hurt her portrayal as bad, if that catches my drift, right? So, yeah, I'd say those are my big three things that I would like changed or altered or looked at the most. That, and, I mean, we're at the stage in the story now. Stop off-screening stuff. If something's going to happen, show us in full on screen. Alright? The Warlords versus SSG, show me that shit in a flashback in full. No more Punk Hazard, this is the aftermath. Show me the fucking grit. My biggest three are too many off-screen fights, no notable bounty hunters, and odd plot holes. Okay. I would say, I mean, there are visual plot holes in One Piece for sure, like things that are drawn 1 second and not drawn in the next. That's fair. As for like narrative plot holes, I wouldn't say that there's really any narrative plot holes that I can think of. And I say that knowing that there's stuff not explained yet. The reason I say it like that is because it's like there is still time for that to not be a plot hole if it's explained. You know what I mean? So until the series ends, there's technically no plot holes because there's still, like, we don't know if something's going to get explained, if you catch my drift for that. And as for the bounty hunters, I would love to see some high-tier bounty hunters, right? Why don't we get that as the backstory for Green Bull and Fujitora? Since we know that they were drafted into the military. Imagine if they were the two strongest bounty hunters in the world. You know what I mean? That would add so much lore, and there'd be so much more stuff that goes on in the world then. Female rep, amount of off-screen important things, sometimes pacing, i.e. rushing or too slow. I agree. Sometimes we focus on things that aren't super important and skip stuff that would be so much more entertaining to see. Yo, thanks everyone for the stream. Yeah, 100% guys. Cheers guys, been a blast though. I was late to this chapter this time around. Yo, much appreciated. Thank you everyone that came out and watched the stream. This was One Piece chapter 1039. Alright, catch me here again in 2 days or on Sunday to do the discussion for the chapter, and catch me again here next week for chapter 1040. We're at 1040, that's mind-blowing. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for more notifications for the content like this. At the moment, and I'm going to refresh it right now just to give you the final vote, still sitting at 99 subscribers. Be the 100th subscriber. The next subscriber is the 100th subscriber, so do that. It is appreciated. If you haven't done so already, right, join the Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description down below. And there should also be a new link that I've got set up now. If it's not in the description down below, it's on my YouTube. on the channel page. It's also in the Discord. It takes you to... It's a universal link that'll take you to my Discord, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. I don't really post anything on Twitch at the moment, but I need to build up into it. And TikTok. I started doing TikTok because why not? That being said, peace, nothing but love, nothing but respect. Have a damn good way. Have a damn good day. And remember, if you are a true One Piece fan, you know you got to go out there and represent the Trafalgar D. Waterloo, because he is fucking coming out hard this chapter, right? And hopefully next chapter we get to see a bit more of Big Mom versus Kid, but it is what it is. We'll see how we go next week. Peace. Have a damn good one.